Hey everybody, welcome back to James Draws Everything, continuing drawing every country in the world's flag, and we're going to stick around in Central America today. In the Yucatan Peninsula here, we're going to be doing the small country of Belize. And Belize, it's kind of all over the place with its history. It's actually a bit of a newer country. It has a lot of British influence, and they speak English there, even though it's part of Latin America. So there's a lot of kind of cool outlying factors that make Belize unique, and we'll get to all of those. One of the more complex flags. It has an awful lot going on in it, and we'll get to all of that. I do want to take the opportunity to use one of my circle tools here, just for the center. It does have a fairly ornate design, which we will be getting to. All right. Let's see. I want to move that a little bit. Hold on, we're getting there. Move that down. Okay, that looks better. So Belize was a home to a lot of ancient Mayan civilizations, and there actually are still Mayans in Belize today. So no, the Mayans are not extinct. Small population. Most of the rest of Belize is mestizos, some blacks, and then kind of some odd stuff. Like you actually have like German Mennonites, so not Amish, but Mennonites that live there. And again, it was under British rule for a long time, so really interesting kind of ethnic makeup. And so during like 17th, 18th century, this was kind of at the crossroads between Britain and Spain. So they kind of feuded over this area. And it became a colony of the British in 1862. And they had some issues with Guatemala actually kind of claiming Belize as its own, and that border dispute actually is still active to this day. And it's not just like a border dispute, like, hey, like this part of where this river meets such and such is ours. Like, no, actually Guatemala claims the entire country of Belize as its own. And yeah, Belize achieves independence very recently. So you think a lot of these Central American countries in Latin America, they achieved independence in the early 19th century from Spain. Nope. Belize actually does not gain independence from Britain until 1981. And it still is part of the Commonwealth of Great Britain. But it does not have the Union Jack on the flag. So if you've seen any of my Union Jack Commonwealth episodes, you know that thing is pretty intricate. A little difficult to draw due to how the lack of like symmetry and how the design is. But so you're probably thinking, James, well, you don't have to draw the Union Jack flag for Belize, so that's good, right? Well, actually, no. Their flag is a lot more complicated than that. It actually makes me long for the days of just having to draw a Union Jack. Okay. So there's two little red bars on the top and bottom. And yeah, Guatemala, they refused to recognize Belize until 1992. But, you know, they are still kind of, so they formally recognize them, but they still, you know, kind of claim that they got screwed over, I guess, in that. Prior to independence, they did have like some autonomy under the British, so mainly like a self-governing state. And in Belize, they speak English, right? So that's kind of unusual for Latin America. It is the official language of the country, and they use the U.S. dollar, and they also have their own dollar. They have a Belize dollar, and it's pegged at about 2 to 1. So, you know, if something is $20 in Belize, you know, you can pay $10 US. So definitely kind of different for Latin America. All your road signs are, you know, miles per hour. Everything's in English. You can get by with Spanish because a lot of the people there are bilingual. So if you speak Spanish, you shouldn't have any issues in Belize. Does have one of the higher crime rates in Central America, mainly in cities though. And again, because Belize is pretty small, not really a big country, a lot of the population is just in the urban areas, so it's going to kind of sway the statistics a little bit. But there's a lot of areas in Belize that are pretty safe and normal for traveling. A lot of ancient Mayan ruins there as well, so if you're into that sort of thing, Belize is pretty cool if you like that kind of history. And I believe one of the tallest buildings in Belize is actually not like an urban skyscraper or anything like that. It actually is one of those ancient Mayan sites. So go check that out if you're ever down there. And speaking of going down there, yeah, so tourism is like the mainstay of the economy. A lot of the other stuff is basically like agriculture. A lot of bananas, a lot of plantains. Yeah, so still, you know, not really like a developed like service economy or anything like that, but they've still got that agriculture. So Belize, also, which makes it a little bit different compared to some of its Latin American brethren, is that it's part of CARICOM, right? So it's in that kind of that economic zone with a lot of those Caribbean countries. So it's sort of like the gateway between Central America and the Caribbean states. So it does enjoy friendly trade with, you know, like Dominican Republic, Jamaica, not Cuba, but you know what I'm talking about. All of those ones that were kind of in that orbit. And the flag, it is very, very complicated. It's got basically the country's coat of arms on the inside, and you might not be able to tell from just how I'm drawing this because it's so small, but it's one of the only flags, actually it is the only country flag in the world that has people on the flag. So we'll get to that in a minute. I'm just going to draw these little these tree designs first. So it's got kind of a tree coming out of the coat of arms, and we're gonna have to work with our fine one here, our fine dark green. Make those leaves. And let me see if I can get like a little brown for the branches. Yeah, so for micro drawing, especially on this one, we're gonna have to cut some corners a little bit, just because it is so intricate and detailed. Alright, so there's one guy. There's another guy. So you got like two dudes standing guard, basically, and they do have weapons, which is always cool. Weapons on the flag. They got like rifles hoisted over their shoulders. Or maybe those are tools. I'm not really sure. We'll check in a minute here. And it's going to get a lighter blue for the inside of this this coat of arms. It's got like a little kind of triangle shield design. And then a little bit more green grass on the bottom. Then let me bust out my my really fine graphic illustration pen here, because these dudes got like some white pants on. So we'll just kind of real quick make it sort of look like that. This comes to a point, and then let's see, we'll do a yellow. This one section of that shield has like a yellow on it, and then these are where the farm tools are, so there's like two little tools like crossed over each other inside. And then there is a little band on the bottom. And do you think I'm going to try to write what that says in there? Of course not. There's no way I can do that. Right. And then maybe we'll just go over these leaves a little bit more. Make those stand out a little bit. All right. And then just that base that they're standing on. Maybe outline my tree a little bit. Okay, so yeah, it's definitely a hard one to do at this scale, but that's what it looks like. That is the flag of Belize. And James, what does the flag of Belize stand for? All right, so you got this dark blue here with red stripes on the top and bottom, and the disc again has the coat of arms inside. So inside in the center there's a shield, and it's got a worker on each side, and behind the shield is a mahogany tree, where underneath that little ribbon on the bottom, that's the motto, Sub Umba Floreo, I flourish in the shade. And it's encircled by green garland of mahogany leaves. And the colors are of the two main political parties. So the blue is for the PUP, and the red is for the UDP. And all this other stuff, you know, the mahogany trees, the log, or the leaves, basically represents like the British logging industry that pretty much created the economy of Belize. And you do have one, so this guy is a little bit darker. You probably can't really tell at this scale, but you have one mestizo and then one black person in there to kind of represent like the racial makeup of the country. So definitely one of the more complicated flags in there, and kind of a complicated country too, right? It does have it does stand out, right? It's not like your typical sort of Latin American country, right? Far more British influence there than Spanish, really. Newer country. I think Belize has gained independence within living memory for a lot of people. Not for me, but close enough. So we'll just finish this off. And we'll call it a day. All right, everybody, so that is Belize. Don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video.